Yes, yes.
Yay!
Power.
The man is back. The man is back.
You look great.
Now you have the mic.
Okay.
Now you have the mic. Let's go.
As I walk through the valley of the
Shadow of death. I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. In breath and land to the Lord. Even mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I know that this is deserved. You be treated like a fool. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking.
Or you and your homies might be lying. So I really hate the trip, but I gotta know. As they go, I see myself in the pit with smoke. I'm the kind of nigga that the homies wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying birds in the street live.
Wow, brother.
Wow.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I hope you have water or tea with you.
I have it here,
Gentlemen.
my friends.
Nice.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good. Great.
Keeping myself young, like you.
Yes. That's important.
It's very, very important. So
Good.
you know we have some questions for you tonight.
Yes.
And doing the question, we're gonna have a break.
Yeah.
We're gonna dance a little bit, then we continue again, like we normally do.
Okay.
So if we're gonna start with this, Melvin, you have been fantastic of the work that you have been doing.
Thank you so much, brother.
You are really doing well, and we love watching you.
Thank you.
You're giving too much. You're giving a lot to the whole world.
Thank you so much, and you too.
And it means it. Thank you, bro. It means a lot. You know, the joy that we have to give to people is always the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, yeah, my name is Melvin, and I was born in Uganda in 1991. And we came to Denmark when I was 2 years old. And I've been staying in Fredericia, and now I live in Aarhus.
Yeah.
And I lived a small town in Kolding, where I also went to high school.
Okay.
So, and I've always, I've loved doing sports. I've always been, the funny guy in my group. So I've always done a bit of comedy. I watched Eddie Murphy when I was young, all of his movies. And I've been studying comedy in a sense where, I wanted to do that, but I never knew how I was going to do it.
Okay.
So it was always, trying to find the funny jokes and cracking jokes to my friends and my mother and my sisters and brothers. So yeah.
Wow.
So
but before we come to that part.
Yeah.
I know that you love football.
Yeah, I do.
Can you tell us a little bit about your football career?
Well, my football career, actually, I started very late because I think I was 13 or 14 when I started to play, seriously, in a club. And I started in Fredericia, where I used to play on the third team. I played on the third team, and my coach was very funny because he always told me, because I ran very fast. Yeah. He used to give all the other players tactical assignments. So, drawing on the board, and then he would turn to me and say, "Melvin, you're just going to run." So yeah.
So you were the running part for your group.
Exactly. I used to, you just run.
Wow.
So, but then when I turned around 16, I was actually selected to the first team.
Yeah.
And then things started to turn around for me, because training became 3 times a week instead of just one. The games became more serious because we had to travel, longer. And I remember at this time, I don't know if it's because I think there was a lot of African people in Denmark at this time, but I remember when we used to visit the small cities, they used to, when I walked out of the bus, I could hear the trainer and the players going, "Hey, they have an African." So So they used to put four people on me, you know.
Yeah.
Because they, even before seeing me play, they was like, he must be good. He must be very good.
Because automatic Africans are good.
Exactly. So,
Wow.
so it was very tough for me the first year playing on the first team, because I used to have to struggle with a lot of people. You know, a lot of people were you know, yeah, covering me. So so that was the start of the career. Then I moved to the first team and I played for FC Fredericia, their youth team under 19.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Colling, where I played for a team in Colling. We played Ulense. And from there I moved to Aarhus, where I played for Oberhøj. And then then it stopped because, you know, when you become around 20, 21 and you see you're not going to reach the national team, you just think that, you know, 3 times a week and games far away, it's too much.
Yeah. So it was not because of the running was getting slower.
No, I was still very fast. I think, you know, after I stopped playing football, if I had to start now, it would be much slower, my friend.
I understand. So in this career that you have on football,
yeah,
when you were playing the acting part of Sunday,
yeah,
the movie,
yeah,
how was it for you? I mean, why you have been playing football before, you were good at it, then you have to play at, like, the one that never played football before.
Exactly.
How was it?
It was actually it was very hard, because when you know how to play football, it's very hard to fake it without looking completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So what we did was that me and the instructor talked about maybe not having so much football contact, because you can tell by the way a player moves and the way the player, you know, handles the ball that he's been playing football.
Yeah.
So that part was actually very, very hard. But, you know, the storyline in itself was very natural to tell, because it was before making Sunday, I used to go out, and this is actually a true story. I used to go out to AGF and I used to watch them train. And a special player I used to follow there was Mustafa Bundu. I used to see how, you know, how they talked to him, how they communicated with him on the pitch, and how he communicated with other people. You know, because the thing is, I understand Danish and I speak Danish, but I had to see how a person who does not talk Danish and do not understand Danish, how he reacts to things. Yeah. So I think I did that for around 6 months, where I just went to training and saw how Mustafa Bundu was, you know.
So you were just following him the whole 6 months to see how he's behaving. Wow.
And the funny thing is, he didn't even know, because I was just standing looking, and I went to all the matches and I saw how the trainers were talking to Bundu, and it was so fun because of the vocabulary of some Danish people, and that he doesn't understand anything, and that football is very fast. You know? They were just shouting things like, Bundu, stop, run, no, play, stop.
I know that one.
Exactly.
When I came the first time was the same thing.
Exactly.
You hear this one shout stop, this one started go, this one started pass, then you just stand there and see what about
exactly.
What?
Yeah.
Who should I listen to?
Exactly. And you know, for a person who does not understand how confusing that is, it's so funny to see you know. And I talked to a guy called Justice, who played for Colling.
Yeah, Justice, I know him.
Exactly. He came to Midtjylland with some guys, and we were talking. When I played in Colling, he also played there.
Yeah.
And we were talking. I asked him, so tell me about your journey to Denmark. How was it, you know, coming from Africa and then coming to Denmark to play? And he told me some funny stories about, you know, how Midtjylland, they put the guys in an apartment and gave them a phone, but the guys didn't know anything. They didn't know anything. You know, they were on the phone, but they're also in a nice house now. So all of those stories, I tried to combine them in, you know, wrapped it with love, so I could tell the story in a way where everyone could smile, you know.
Wow.
And that was the story of how Sunday became, you know, a story about every Africa player coming here and you experiencing the Danish culture, because I tell you, even though I've been here all my life, sometimes when I look at my family when they come here from Uganda and they experience the way, it's funny, man.
It's like walking the jungle. No, don't know what is happening.
Exactly. So it's so funny. It's so funny.
Before we move on, let's shake our body a little bit before we move on to the next one.
Let's do it.
I have a very good one, a good song. I think you might like it. It's called God Wins.
Oh yes, always.
It's a good one.
And I have the drum here today.
I don't get a lot, God wins. And I don't pay my rent, God wins. Everyone for my hand, God wins. Everyone see my joy, but God wins. I say everything and do not God wins. God wins, no. Everything and do not God wins. God wins, no. I don't change my name to body. I don't buy more to body. I say my market no go sell body. And then me say I no go blue body. My brother, baby, like that of my God. No, my God go in. No, my love go in. No. And little get no love go in. No, my God go in. No, my God go in. No. As you don't pass exam,
That's a good song.
Good
song. Like that. Yes.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
So we move on to the next question.
Yes.
When did you find out that you have a talent in comedy?
I think it's always been a part of me, you know. Because when I remember growing up, I used to be, like I told you, I used to be the funny guy in the group, and you know, at home I used to always charm my mother with jokes. If she got mad at me, I would crack a joke, and then it would become better. So I think I've always known that comedy was a part of me, but I remember the day I believed in myself that I could make it in the business. Mm-hmm. And that was in 2016, where I woke up a morning, and I remember the day very clearly. It was October the 4th, and I caught myself thinking, how would I be in 50 years? Mm-hmm. And I remember telling myself, I wouldn't like to be, I wouldn't like, you know, in 50 years to think that I survived. Mm-hmm. But I would think that I had enjoyed my life and did all of the things I wanted to do. Yeah. And I've always wanted to do comedy because I think it's a very blessed and nice way to share, you know, love. Mm-hmm. To share love to the next person, how to love thy next. And you know, that was the day I decided to go all in. Yeah. So yeah, I think that was the time where I learned to believe in myself.
Yeah, and in 2017, you get a breakthrough and became a Danish champion of comedy. Yes. How was it for you that, you know, all what you have been doing, all the hard work, it paid for you that moment? They call that the champion is Melvin Kakooza.
Yeah, I remember I dropped to my knees, you know, and I just had to thank God for allowing that to happen, because I think anyone who had, you know, experienced having a dream, when you fulfill that dream, it's amazing. It's a thing that you'll always remember. And I still keep, you know, the check that I got. Yeah. I still keep it because it's a sign that with determination and faith, you can come, you know, a long way.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I remember, you know, thinking this is just the start, you know,
yeah,
and becoming more hungry to achieve even more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember being very touched and very humbled by the experience. Yeah. So that was amazing.
Before we move to the next,
yes,
I mean, you have been. If I look at you, you know how to sing, you know how to play drums, you know how to you know how to play guitar, you know everything. If you go to a music career, have you done a little bit? Have you thought a little bit about making music or doing something?
Yes, even I can see, you know, when you move, even I saw some old pictures of when you used to score goals, you know, for Smith, you had the rhythm, you had to dance. It's great. I think a lot of Africans, you know, are born with the rhythm. And music for me has always been part. You know, I have sisters who used to dance, and my mother used to dance. And when I was young, I used to play drums. You know, the drum kit, gospel drums.
Yeah.
And then I taught myself how to play guitar, and I was a teacher in music. And I think that, you know, I might do some music once, but it's such a good thing to have in you. Because you can use music for everything, you know, for dancing, for singing, for playing, and it's a nice way to interpret your mood.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that I just want to keep it a part of my my career. I have a sister who's a professional jazz singer. So music is a big part of us. So it's a blessing to incorporate it in my career.
You know something. My wife, she's a Danish.
Yes.
And I've been playing music all the time since I met her, you know. Music, like you say, music is part of us, you know.
Yeah.
And she have got used to it. It's like when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I push is music.
Yes.
Because it gives the mood that it gives you when you hear music is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's like it lights your day for you.
Yeah, it does.
And that gives us the power to also to share to the world and make them laugh at what we are doing.
Yes. Yes.
Can we say that we're gonna one day get a Melvin Kakooza music in the plate?
Yeah, of course. And I think we should make a Melvin Kakooza and Lasak Ping Pong remix so people have something to dance to.
I'm telling you, I will be in it. I will be in it, but let me tell you, my voice, oh my God. I can sing a little bit. Yaga huo fluinating edide element yaga hu dali yaga he dadi yabiza for die yakama for die I zali ame ai zale yagama for die akama for die ya said Lucy mi vindo Eliviane elevel no, let me stop here. It's no good. so when we come to that part, I think I'm gonna dance.
Yeah, you'll be the dancer.
You can sing.
Okay. You'll just be the dancer, bro.
I will be the dancer that you can sing, because that is not me.
Okay,
I can maybe do.
Yeah. You'll do the lip syncing. I'll do the singing. Okay.
So let's say that we're gonna have a music one day. Yes. Then I will be the dancer. Then you're gonna rap.
Yes.
Before we move on to the next, let's take our body?
Yes,
let's shake our body again. And this one, I think you know it too.
I know it.
You know all African music. Nicolabo.
She wants to collabo. I can sing for you. You can sing for me. She said she wants to collabo. She need a badly be like tornado. She don't say I don't play like Ronaldo. Nothing that's sweeter like Conchas Eminado. We can't go Monaco. I rock your body if I'm on like so. She just the holler, she just scream of brigado. I said the fire and they call her Molato. Mamolato, yeah, baby, make we go labo. I know you will be labo. I will sing for you, you will sing for me. Like collabo, she wants to collabo. Yeah, baby, make we go labo. I know you will be labo. I will sing for you, you will sing for me. Like collabo, she wants to collabo. Yeah, I saw the show. She know they regret no more had I know. Well, I have to give back to me.
Nice,
bro.
Very nice.
Cheers.
Cheers, my friend. Oh.
Now let's talk serious.
Yes.
What about the future, Melvin?
Oh, yeah.
Is all this that you are making here, is it to build that one day you're going to be in the international scene, like seeing Eddie Murphy? I don't know if someone have told you that you look like Eddie Murphy.
Really?
Maybe you're going to take over when that time comes. Have you made any future plan where you want to reach?
Yeah, I've thought a lot about it. I've prayed a lot about it, and I actually visited the States. I went to New York and I went to LA, and you know, growing up, I thought that was the dream, you know, to make comedy and then go to America.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I just felt a feeling of not being at the right place. I know that there's a lot of things, there's a lot of opportunities, and I don't want to say I'm never going to go to the States to do movies. That would be an honor to do, to represent Denmark and Uganda in that fashion. But I think that I'm in the right country, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I think that, you know, being in this country, in Denmark, experiencing the love and affection that I've experienced and what he has caused, seeing Africans rise up and actually making a difference in a country that can, because you can say Denmark is sometimes burdened by prejudice and burdened by a lot of negative thoughts about foreigners coming. And for me to be here and making a difference and, you know, showing even young African people that you can amount to something and you can actually be Danish and also be African.
Exactly.
I think that is a very important thing, and I think that is what I want to do now, because I even see the work you've been doing and the career you have had have touched a lot of young African Danish football players, because they see you and they can see, okay, this works, this you can amount to something. And I think that Denmark is badly in need of that. You know, in America they're settled, you know. They have their stars, but Denmark needs stars for the youth here as well. And we need to show people that your future is not determined by the color of your skin, by the character of your heart.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think I'm in the right place.
You know what? That touches me much of what you are saying, because you have taught very right. Because if it was someone, the person would say that let me reach out to the moon.
Yeah.
But in this case, you could have said, I want to reach the moon.
Yeah.
But you want to use your platform. You want to use you to tell a story.
Yeah.
That there is, if you do very well, you can still live in a community that you think that is impossible to live.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's exactly what I also try to give.
Yeah.
What I'm doing. Because
Yeah.
Denmark is a very, very good country, and it's a very nice country.
Yeah.
If you're willing to give yourself, then they will appreciate you and give you what you want back.
Exactly, give you back. Exactly.
And I really respect what you are saying now, because that means a lot for the younger ones that are coming.
Yeah. And I think that's so important. And even, you know, for me, you have been a great role model. And I think that as long as we have those in Denmark, as long as we have the good stories and the good people, I actually think that this country has its better days in, you know, we're going to experience a lot of great days in Denmark. But you're so right in that we need to believe that you can be a star and a beacon of inspiration where you are.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, you also make a lot of, you give a lot of inspiration also for the younger Danish kids that are coming along.
Yeah.
Because it tells them, if Melvin can do it, that means that we can also do it.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I train a lot of kids. I work in the after school, in the early after school.
Yeah.
That, you know, I work with a lot of young guys, and I always use my story to tell them that if you have a better platform here in Denmark, compared to where I come from.
Yeah.
So if you are willing to give yourself and work hard, you can reach more higher than what I have achieved, or what you have achieved.
Yeah.
So in this way, it's a great storytelling, and I really, really like what you are saying, that you just want to write a story.
Yeah.
That
and hopefully the next one will become better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Melvin.
Yeah.
Let me hear this. I heard that the Queen, when you came to the Denmark.
Yes.
There was something about the Queen in Denmark.
Yes.
Can you tell a little about it?
Of course. So when we came to Denmark, we started to live in a place where, you know, it was like a project. There was a lot of houses, flats. And then my parents took that decision to move us out on the, you know, the countryside. So we stayed in the house there, and our neighbors were this old Danish couple. And the man was very funny. So he talked to my parents one day, and he said that, remember, we celebrate the Queen's birthday every 16th of April. Yeah. And, you know, coming from a culture where, you know, if the president is there, or the president's birthday or something, then, you know,
you know that the president is coming.
Exactly. Everything is closed and you're at home, you know? So my parents just thought that of course we're going to celebrate. And then he said, remember, don't go to work, don't send the children to school. So we stayed home the first 2 years, and then he came and he said it was just a joke. So yeah, but, you know, saying that to an African couple who've just come to Denmark, of course, you know, because in our country it's very normal to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I've even heard after that, in old days in Denmark, they used to stay home when the king, you know, it was the king's birthday, people would have a day off. So it's not that uncommon, but it's not something we do today.
No. Melvin, can you tell us how much your mom means to you?
My mother means a lot to me. She's been a great support and a great friend and a great mentor and a great role model in my life. And the thing is, you know, growing up,
I've really experienced that having a mom who supports you in that way is not something that everyone is blessed with. And a mother is not one you have always. So having her in my life has been very great. Having her as a support and as a friend, and you know, teaching me how to be a good man. Actually, I think sometimes, you know, you forget how much inspiration a mother can be, because when I was young, I was a mother's boy. My mom will even say I was a mother's boy, and I think growing up with a mom that's so strong by character has given me the right amount of self-confidence and humbleness. I'm always very humble, and my mom always, you know, she always tells me, be humble and trust in God, and I think that is that's so important for me. So I can't even put in, you know, in words how much she means to me, because she means a lot, a great deal.
Understand?
Yeah.
I heard that you were, when you were a kid, your mom was out shopping and you went down trying to go after her.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit story about that one?
Yeah, so like I said, I used to be a big mama's boy, so I couldn't get you know, babysitters and everything. I hated that. So one day my mom went out to get groceries, and we stayed at a place that was near the road. So she went down, and I was only in my diapers. So my mom went down, and I was like, where's mom? So I went down I took one boot on, and I went down after her. And she was, of course, very surprised seeing her son trying to walk over the crossroad with only one boot on. So, yeah.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who is watching here, those who are watching from Africa, who doesn't know Melvin, if you just want to know something about him, just go and look for Sunday.
Yeah.
Just look for Sunday, my friend. I'm telling you, when I saw this Syria the first time, I looked at it and I called my son, Malik, you should come see the here. When he came and saw it, he was stuck on it. For no see it next Syria. My friend, you are doing great. What you are doing is unbelievable. I mean, only God protection to protect you, to guide you, and keep doing what you are doing.
Yeah.
How do you cope with the pressure? How do you cope with being famous?
Yeah. The thing is, for me, I think pressure is sometimes good. You know, if you can channel it the right way, pressure can be good. If you challenge pressure in the way that you want to amount to something, someone else or something, it can be hard, because we're all different. So the first step is to be comfortable in the person you are.
Yeah.
Then pressure the fact that you have to be more faithful. You have to be more determined. Pressure those points, and then pressure can be very good. So for me, the thing is, I wrap myself in, first of all, in God. I wrap myself in believing that He's with me. And then I wrap myself in my family's protection. I wrap myself in that that my family is looking out for me. And then stay humble. Remember that everything you have can be taken away from you like this.
That is right.
Yeah, remember that, because sometimes people, they forget that. They forget that everything can be taken away like that. And that's when you get arrogant, and you can even feel it in your mood that you start getting, you know, things are not, it's not a passion anymore. Now it's just a work. It's important that the thing that you do is your passion. So that's the way I try to wake up every day. So now I'm just in a business that makes people happy. I want to make people happy. I want to make content that makes people smile at home. So I wake up every morning loving my job and wanting to be better. Yeah. Better, and pressuring myself in believing that I can become better.
Exactly.
Not settle.
So what are you gonna say to young ones? What advice you're gonna give it to young Africans, young Danish, everyone that have ambition that they want to achieve their goals?
Yeah. First of all, write your goals down. You'll get amazed. I wrote down in 2016, I remember having a conversation with my mother. My mother told me to be humble, but she also told me to if you go after a dream, don't look back.
Yeah.
Write down your goals. What do you want to achieve? And look at these goals. My brother actually he writes down things a lot. And then, again, stop thinking that you can become someone else. Become better, you know? Become your own person and then become better. And then if you have a gift, you know. So don't sit around and wait for the gift to reveal itself. Exactly. Prepare yourself for the gift to reveal itself. So wrap yourself in this passion. Stop. Sometimes you have the tendency to just sit down and wait. You know, if you're good in playing the guitar, you're just sitting down and waiting for the opportunity to play, you know, maybe on a big scene or maybe play for the right manager. Go out and look for it. Look for it and teach it, or search for it. And I think that's the greatest tip I can give. Don't settle for plan B. Go after your plan A and go after it 100% and stay humble always. Then I think you'll get a lot of blessings.
Always humble. Always humble, always wins.
Exactly.
Yeah. So before we go, what club do you support in Denmark?
In Denmark? The thing is, you know, FC Fredericia will always have a special place in my heart. Always. But I've seen a lot of AGF matches now because I live in Aarhus. But I'll be moving to Copenhagen. So I might be seeing a lot of Copenhagen matches. But I think that two clubs will always have a special place in my heart. Fredericia and AGF, because that was a dream to make Sunday there. And I think that the support the club has given with the season 2 and the people, we had David in the series, and you know, Bundu gave me so much material he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know.
That is very funny. I'm gonna tell you when I talk to him next time.
He doesn't even know, but you know, he gave a lot. So I think those are the clubs. But I'm a big Barcelona fan. I've been there since I was a small kid. So
I'm a Real Madrid fan.
Really?
Yeah. So my wife is Barcelona fan. I'm Real Madrid. So whenever
how about your son?
You know, you say you love your mother. She always wants to follow the mother.
So he's a Barcelona fan as well.
Yeah, so he's also a Barcelona. Now he's saying that it's Liverpool. You don't know
why. Yeah, of course. My brother too, the youngest, he's a Liverpool fan.
Yeah. But before we go, let's shake the last one before we say goodbye.
Let's do it.
I've been hustling in the morning, in the afternoon and in the evening. Facing caution that he can be good. In a bed in never been doing. In one room, in Camille, and one room. Be ready, go, Dimita. If you money, go, Dimita. Never be going. In one room. If you money, go, Dimita. Be ready, go.
Melvin.
Yes.
I would say thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for having me.
Of course, always. And take care of yourself.
I will.
And I hope when everything becomes normal, we're going to see more of you. And we are looking for it and looking forward to follow you.
Thank you, my friends. And thank you for being such a great inspiration for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Good. And say hello to your mom and everyone.
I will. And say hi to the family.
I will do that. Take care.
Good. Bye.
Bye.